Can I start? Okay. Thank you, partners in policy makers, guests, this opportunity to provide testimony on the important issues of students with disabilities being segregated in the educational setting in New York State. I'm the proud parent of 5 children. 3 of my children have disabilities, and I live in Holbrook, New York, that is located in the middle of Long Island. Today I will focus on 3 critical issues. 1, students with special education needs are in segregated placements across New York State. 2, the benefits for students to be included in settings. And 3, how this will help students with disabilities transition out of school and into their communities. In New York State, students with disabilities are being segregated into self-contained placements way too often. And this leads to having limited access to their peers in general education placements. Sometimes, self-contained settings are necessary for students. However, I find that segregation is just the culture we educate in New York State. Your IQ is this, so you go to this class. Your diagnosis or your classification is this, so you go over here. And your behavior is this way, so you go to this placement. This process starts for some students as early as preschool and is almost impossible to reintegrate a student that has been in self-contained placement into a general education program. So maybe you're thinking this is what happens to students with autism, or maybe just students who have significant challenges. Well, you would be wrong. These self-contained placements are sometimes recommended to students with ADHD, learning disabilities, physical disabilities, and many other classified students. The benefits of inclusion are numerous for students with disabilities and without disabilities, which I found on the website kidstogether.org. Benefits of inclusive education are increased social interactions, peer role modeling for academic, social, and behavioral skills, increased achievement of IEP goals, greater access to general curriculum, higher expectations of students. Benefits of inclusion for students without disabilities are great too. Meaningful relationship, increased appreciation and acceptance of individuals' differences, prepares for all students for adult life in an inclusive society. This article ends by stating, there is not any research that shows any negative effects of inclusion done appropriately. In New York State, inclusion in education settings are even more important today because students transitioning into the adult world will have more opportunities to be included in their communities. The Olmstead Act of 1999 is aggressively being reinforced in New York State in real time as I speak. More and more people with disabilities will be living, working, and having their recreation in their communities. Inclusion should not be starting at the age of 18 or 21. Inclusion for people with disabilities should be lifelong. We have a moral, civil, ethical, and legal responsibility to include